we'll be studying today is sovereignty. Sovereignty, as we have already studied, is one of the major elements or major characteristics of a state. A state cannot exist without the principle of sovereignty. So, what sovereignty is? The it is the concept in political science or international relations which distinguishes a state from any other kind of association. There can be other groups and another form of association, uh, a community, but it isn't a state if it does not have a sovereign power. So, what sovereignty is? Sovereignty means the supremacy of the will of state as expressed by its laws over all individuals and associations within its boundaries. It means the supremacy of authority of state within its territory and against all the powers and authority beyond its frontiers. It is a supreme lawmaking power of state. So, a state means the supremacy of the will of state. What is the will of state? The will of state is everything a state would like to exercise for its people. And how is it formulated and how is it expressed and what the will of state is? It is manifested through its laws over all the individuals and associations within its boundaries. So, here we are discussing the concept of internal sovereignty. The internal sovereignty is within the borders of state. It is about its citizens and whatever associations, businesses, societies, communities, or any group that is living in the boundary of that state comes under the sovereign power of that state. So there is one thing important to know that in a country that is democratic or that has the representation of people or any system of government that has a direct or indirect system of representation for the people, like in Pakistan, here we have parliament, we have senate, we have provincial assemblies. So what the laws are formulated by the representatives of people who are elected by people of Pakistan. So the people of Pakistan elect the members of the assemblies. These members of the assemblies and senate make laws, and these laws express the state of will, the will of state. So the state will is what the all the groups of or all the representatives of the people of a particular state had agreed to make it a law for the state. So the state, the will of the state or the constitution of the state or the laws of the state are basically the majorities wish or majority's mandate to a state, that a state will be like this. If a state adopts to be a very to be a secular state, so its people or the representatives of the people of that state has agreed to make this state a secular state, or whatever form of state is being agreed by the constitution or any other laws passed by it. It means there's a supremacy of authority of state within its territory. It is about the internal sovereignty. There is another kind of sovereignty we have already discussed, and it is external sovereignty. And what it is about, it is against all the powers and authority beyond its frontiers. That means that beyond its borders, its sovereignty within other assembly of nations, within other assembly of states, that no state or any multinational or any group or any uh, person, any influential businessman, even the most wealthiest person of the world is not able to breach the sovereignty of state. They have to respect the sovereignty of their own states and other states too. So, sovereignty is a supreme law-making power of state. The state has the power to make laws for its citizens, and these laws are made by the representatives of citizens and according to the will of citizens. And the will of state is basically the will of its citizens, the majority's decision. So classically, Aristotle defined sovereignty as the supreme power of state. It is the most important power. In Urdu, we call it इक़्तिदार आला, the most important power. हाकमियत का जो कॉन्सेप्ट है कि सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट जो पावर है, जो सबसे आला पावर है, जिसको कोई ओवरराइड नहीं कर सकता, ऐसी पावर कि जिसके बराबर की कोई और पावर नहीं है, कोई उसको चैलेंज नहीं कर सकता. The famous definition of English jurist John Austin is important because we will be discussing Austin's concept later when discussing about the types of sovereignty, etc. So, what is his definition? If a human superior, not in habit of obedience to a like superior, receives habitual obedience from a bulk of given society, that determines superior is sovereign in that society. So if I explain it in Urdu, it means कि एक बंदा एक शख्स है जिसको आदत नहीं है कि वो किसी और की जो है सुपीरियोरिटी को माने, और एक सेट ऑफ पीपल, एक ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल अग्री करते हैं कि वो उसको उसकी पावर को मानेंगे और उसके बताई हुई बात को ओबे करेंगे. कोई एक सोसाइटी या कोई जो ग्रुप है लोगों का, जो सोसाइटी है लोगों की, वो अग्री करती है, तो इससे पता चलता है कि ही इज द सुपीरियर ऑफ दैट सोसाइटी. So the habitual obedience is important. The obedience basically is important, that whosoever is given the power to exercise, who's given the power to make law for you, to govern your society, is the one who is given the supreme power or sovereignty. So, in the modern concept of a state, it is the state itself of political science. It is the state itself that exercises sovereignty. So, it is a habitual obedience by its citizens to the state that makes determines its sovereignty. Another definition is by Garner. It is that characteristics of state, by virtue of which it cannot be legally bound except by its own will or limited by any other power than itself. So, what sovereignty is? It is that unique characteristic of state according to which the state is not legally bound to agree with or to obey an other state's will or another person's will or any group's will, unlimited because if it agrees to obey someone else, if a state agrees to obey someone else, it is like giving away its sovereignty. Sovereignty is a concept that is enjoyed by the superior. So whosoever is superior is sovereign. For say, if there is a person who claims to be sovereign, for say if there is a king and he says he is sovereign, so all the population is going to obey him, okay, and he will not obey any other person. If he is obeying another person, so it means that he has his sovereignty is limited. And sovereignty, the concept of sovereignty means that it is not obedient to anyone else. It will not subjugate. It is not subjugated to anyone else. It is in itself the most supreme law, the supreme power. So the state in our modern setup is the most sovereign power, and it is not to obey anyone else. Though there is debate, and we'll discuss it later. But here to note is that the behavioralist school of political science do not recognize the concept of sovereignty, and we'll see it later why. So, in nutshell, or a summary, or the crux of the thing is what the sovereignty is a supreme, unlimited, and absolute power. It means कि सबसे आला, एक लामुतनाही जिसकी कोई इंतहा नहीं है, and absolute means that is not, no one can challenge it, there is no one to challenge it. ऐसी power है. It is a supreme power to make laws and enforce them. So state has the sovereign power of making laws and enforce them. The state has the machinery of making laws and enforcing them. So, for the modern concept of state, this state is a supreme institution. The state is a supreme body. Its authority cannot be resisted or disobeyed by any person or body of person within a state, nor it obeys any power outside its boundaries. The concept of state, as we have already studied, is that everyone obeys the sovereign, whether it is a state or a person or anyone who's exercising sovereignty on behalf of state. So no person or no body of person, any group, any association, any business or whatever corporation is not allowed to disobey or resist the authority of that sovereign, nor it obeys any other power. The person or the sovereign power or whosoever is having the sovereign power is not the one who is taking dictation from anyone else. He will not obey anyone else, whether it is an inside power or it lies somewhere outside. No limitations can be placed on the supreme will of state. The supreme will of state, the sovereignty of state, does not have any limitations. No limitations can be placed that a state, the sovereignty of state is limited to this. No, the sovereignty of state is extended to everything and every person that lies within its territory, for the internal sovereignty and for the external sovereignty being the one of the most important uh, uh, units of that system of international system. It has no limits. It can express its supreme will, except those which has imposed itself, except for the limitations that state itself agree to impose on itself, and we will later discuss what are those limitations. The supreme law-making power is itself unlimited by the law. So, what is the supreme law-making power? The sovereign is the supreme law-making power. Is itself unlimited by law, that it is not obeying another law, it makes its own law. So if the state is sovereign, it is making its own law. It means कि if as we said that अगर हम किंग की एग्जांपल ले रहे हैं, तो किंग जो है वो अपने लॉज खुद बना रहा है, वो किसी और के अगर बनाए हुए लॉज या किसी और की डिक्टेशन पे अमल करेगा तो वो अपनी सॉवरेनिटी, अपनी हाकमियत को खो देगा. So it cannot be legally bound except by its own will. A sovereign, if it is a state, will not is not cannot be legally bound by anything except it agrees to by its own will. It We will discuss another principle later when we discuss the attributes of sovereignty. So it will become later that how a state agrees to by its own will to make concession. As Leacock puts it, somewhere within the state there exists a certain person or a body of persons whose command receives obedience. So there is someone within a state, there exists some person or the body of persons whose commands receives obedience. The person or the thing or the body or any institution that is expressing the that is exhibiting the sovereignty of state, or that has a mandate of using or exercising according to the sovereignty of state. The basis of sovereignty is the use or possibility of use of coercive power of a state to compel obedience to its laws or commands. Okay, now one thing. लॉज बना लिए जाते हैं पर उनको इम्प्लीमेंट कराने के लिए भी आपके पास इदारे मौजूद होते हैं. ठीक है, लॉज हमारी लेजिस्लेशन बना रही होती है. लेजिस्लेटर जो होते हैं हमारे हमारे जो लेजिस्लेटिव इदारे होते हैं, हमारी पार्लियामेंट्स होती हैं, असेंबलीज होती हैं, वो बना रही होती हैं. लेकिन उनकी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन कौन करा रहा होता है? उनकी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन हमारी दूसरे इदारे करार होते हैं जो लॉ इन्फोर्समेंट के इदारे होते हैं, या उनकी उन लॉज के मुताबिक फैसले कौन कर रहा होता है, जुडिशरी कर रही होती है। सो सॉवरेनिटी के लिए जरूरी है कि उसको उसको एक्सप्रेस करने के लिए लॉज बनाए भी जाए और उन लॉज को इम्प्लीमेंट भी किया जाए। So the basis of sovereignty is the use or the possibility of use of coercive power of state to compel obedience to its law or commands. If a state is giving a command or passing a law or any other kind of order, and that order has to be obeyed by the citizens of that state or by the people of that state, so maybe they agree to the law by themselves. And if in case of disobedience, the state must have the power or must have the possible it has the mandate and it has the possibility to use force to make that law, to enforce that law, to make people obey that law. So like we have police in some case, and we have army and other institutions that ensure that the laws are being followed. Like if it is about the traffic laws, so there are traffic laws, we all know that, okay? But there is a police, the traffic police, to enforce those laws. That if someone violates the law, he is punishable. He is punishable in form of the challan, or he is punishable by whatever means the person on duty exercising that power of force charges him. So this is the one of the main important points of sovereignty, that the state that is sovereign must have the capability, must have the ability to enforce those laws, either if people agree to like obey those laws, or if they are not agreeing to obey those laws, the state can enforce them through force. So it must have that power, enough power to impose its will. The basis of state sovereignty, said Lasky, is the contingent power to use the armed forces of state to compel obedience to its will, and it is the possession of this legal right to resort to coercion which distinguishes the state from other associations. So we all know that state has its law enforcement institutions and agencies who work to enforce the laws, and this is the right of a state to have these institutions, and it is the right of the state to make things in order and to compel people to obey its laws, that it can use that force. It isn't illegal to use force, though in some cases it will be regarded illegal to use force, but that is an extended debate. For now, it is the jurisdiction of state to use force if people are not complying with those laws. So as we studied the elements of state, there are elements or attributes of sovereignty too. So, what they are absoluteness, indivisibility, all comprehensiveness, and universality, permanence, unity, or exclusiveness, inalienability, imprescriptibility, prescriptibility. Absoluteness. So the first thing that comes in the list is, what is absoluteness? Absolute or supreme or unlimited over all. Absolutely supreme and unlimited overall. No one can challenge its supremacy and its unlimited power. The attribute of absoluteness is fundamental and most important characteristic of sovereignty. All other attributes are really its corollaries. That if the most important thing is absoluteness when it comes to sovereignty, if a state is not sovereign, so it is not likely if the absoluteness is absent from the principle of sovereignty, then all other attributes will not function accordingly. So it is one of the most important, it is the basics of sovereignty. So how it is? Sovereignty cannot be restricted, for the power that imposes restriction would itself become sovereign. If a sovereign power obeys any other power, so it will lose its own sovereignty. It is the obedience to another law or another authority will restrict its own sovereignty, and that power who is being a dictator or who is being obeyed by the sovereign will become the sovereign. कि अगर कोई एक जो है वो सॉवरन पावर है और वो किसी और पावर को ओबे करता है, तो जिस पावर को वो सॉवरन ओबे कर रहा है बेसिकली वो पावर सॉवरन है. So the next point is, although morality, religion, international law and treaties, prudence, expediency, or consideration of policy may make a sovereign to refrain from a course of action, yet his power is legally unrestricted and unlimited. मतलब बहुत ही जगह पे मोरालिटी, रिलीजन या इंटरनेशनल लॉ के कुछ या ट्रीटीज ऐसी होती हैं, या प्रूडेंस या एक्सपीडेंसी, और ये चीजें हैं कंसिडरेशन जो हम कोई पॉलिसी बनाते हुए कर रहे होते हैं, उसकी वजह से बाज़ औक़ात स्टेट जो है वो अपनी विल एक्सप्रेस करने से रुक जाती है, फॉर पीस के लिए रुक जाती है, किसी अमन मुआहदे के तहत रुक जाती है, किसी भी वजह से रुक जाती है, तो बेसिकली वो अपनी पावर को, अपनी सॉवरन पावर को यूज करने से रिफ्रेन कर रही है. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि वो रिस्ट्रिक्टेड है. उसकी जो पावर, लीगल पावर है, वो अनरिस्ट्रिक्टेड है, अनलिमिटेड है, ऑल्दो वो रिफ्रेन शो कर रही है. जैसे अगर आप जंगों की बात करते हैं तो एक होता है कि आप अगर जंग हो रही, अगर आप जंग करना चाहें तो आप कर सकते हैं, लेकिन अगर आप खुद को रोके रखते हैं जंग करने से, तो वो आपकी अपनी समझ है, आपकी अपनी ट्रीटीज जो आपने साइन की हुई है किसी और स्टेट के साथ, वो बीच में आ रही हैं. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप जंग कर नहीं सकते, इसका मतलब ये है कि आप जंग करना नहीं चाहते या आपके लिए जंग फिजिबल नहीं है. सो इसका जो सॉवरेनिटी है स्टेट की, वो भी ऐसे ही है कि आप अगर किसी जगह पे खुद को रोक रहे हैं किसी बेहतर कॉज के लिए, तो वो आपकी अपनी मर्जी है, मतलब सॉवरन की मर्जी है. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि सॉवरेनिटी के ऊपर वो लिमिट लगी हुई है कि वो अपनी सॉवरेनिटी को एक्सरसाइज कर नहीं सकता. तो एब्सोल्यूटनेस जो है वो एक कंट्रोवर्शियल फीचर है, और जब हम मोनिस्टिक थ्योरी ऑफ सॉवरेनिटी पढ़ेंगे तो हमें पता चलेगा कि एब्सोल्यूटनेस जो है वो कैसे जो है वो कंट्रोवर्शियल फीचर है. इंडिविजिबिलिटी, इसका मतलब ये है कि जो आपकी सॉवरेनिटी है उसको डिवाइड नहीं किया जा सकता. इट कैन नॉट बी डिवाइडेड अमंग पीपल, और इट कैन नॉट बी गिवन, इट कैन नॉट बी लाइक a two-person can share that sovereignty. The sovereignty is for one. Okay, so it is one of the most important, second important and fundamental attributes, that sovereignty is indivisible. It is impossible to have two or more more equal supreme powers in the same state. तो जैसे कहते हैं उर्दू में, एक मैदान में दो तलवारें नहीं रह सकती, तो इसी तरह इट इज इम्पॉसिबल टू हैव टू और मोर इक्वल सुप्रीम पावर्स इन सम स्टेट. देयर इज ओनली वन सुप्रीम पावर. To divide a sovereign is to destroy it. John C. Calhoun is saying that if you are sharing or dividing up sovereign power into two institutions and between two kings, or in any way within a state, if you are dividing that sovereignty, it means that you are basically destroying the principle of sovereignty. The sovereignty is indivisible. It is the ultimate supreme power, because if the two enjoy the same sovereign power, they who will be obeyed. If they are contradictory, if they issue a contradictory order, so who will be obeyed? The one who will be obeyed is the sovereign. The one who is not being obeyed is not a sovereign. So there is always one sovereign within a state. It is attacked by pluralists because the pluralists all say that the powers must not be centered at a single point. That unlimited power may make things go wrong, can make things go wrong. And there is another thing, that the indivisibility of the power or sovereignty is questioned by the federalists, that because In federation, sovereignty is apparently divided between federal and provinces, फेडरल एंड प्रोविंशियल गवर्नमेंट, बिकॉज फेडरेशन का जो एक कॉन्सेप्ट है उसमें जो पावर होती है वो डिवाइड हो रही होती है प्रोविंसेस और फेडरल के दरमियान, जो सेंट्रल पावर होती है उसके दरमियान. सो दे आल्सो से कि इफ पावर इज, इफ सॉवरेनिटी इज इंडिविजिबल, then how come this system exists? All comprehensiveness or universality is another feature of sovereign, and it is that it extends to all without any distinction. No one is exempt from obeying laws of the state or commands of the sovereign, and this authority of state is coextensive within its jurisdiction, with its territorial jurisdiction. That is, that the territory, this internal sovereignty of state extends to all parts of its territory. Whatsoever lies under its territory is under the sovereign command of that state, or sovereign command of whosoever is exercising sovereignty on behalf of that state. So no one who is living, who is the citizen who is living there, is beyond that, he is exempted from the sovereign power of state. We'll see that it is, but in cases that is extraterritorial sovereignty, the principle of extraterritorial sovereignty is the exception that is given to the sovereignty of a state. Like it happens कि होता क्या है कि जो सफीर होते हैं, आपके आपके एम्बेसडर्स होते हैं, आपके डिप्लोमेट्स होते हैं, वो जाके दूसरे मुल्कों में रहते हैं, जैसे चाइना के, इंडिया के और दुनिया भर के वो ममालिक जिनके साथ हमारे ताल्लुकात हैं, पाकिस्तान के ताल्लुकात हैं, तो उनकी एम्बेसीज हैं पाकिस्तान में मौजूद. वहाँ पे कुछ ऑफिशियल्स काम करते हैं, जो उनके डिप्लोमेट्स हैं, उनके एम्बेसडर्स आते हैं जो हमें विजिट करते हैं, जो यहाँ पे रहते हैं, अपनी एम्बेसीज में काम करते हैं, अपने ऑफिस में काम करते हैं. और वो बेसिकली क्या होता है, सफारत खाने जो बने हुए होते हैं, वो दो ममालिक के दरमियान आपस में अच्छे ताल्लुकात करने के लिए बने हुए होते हैं. तो उन जगहों पे, उस जगह पे, उस जो सफारत खाना है उसमें इंटरनेशनल लॉ में एक एक्सेप्शन मौजूद है कि उन वो जो है अपने लॉ को फॉलो कर रहे होते हैं. लाजमी नहीं है कि वो उस लॉ को भी फॉलो करें जिस कंट्री में वो रह रहे हैं. ये एक डिप्लोमेटिक उनको इंसेंटिव मिला हुआ होता है, एक एग्जेम्पशन मिली हुई होती है, एंड दैट इज एक्स्ट्रा टेरिटोरियल सॉवरेनिटी. वन एक्सेप्शन टू द ऑल कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव एंड यूनिवर्सल पावर ऑफ स्टेट. तो सॉवरेनिटी का एक प्रिंसिपल है ऑल कॉम्प्रिहेंसिवनेस एंड यूनिवर्सलिटी, दैट whosoever is living within its territory has to obey the laws, or the laws of the supreme law of state or the sovereignty of state. तो यहाँ पे वो आकर जो है एक एग्जेम्पशन की सिचुएशन आती है. इट डज नॉट एक्सटेंड द sovereignty of the sovereignty and the principle of all comprehensiveness and universality does not extend to the diplomatic official and embassies of foreign states within its territory. That those embassies or their officials are exempt from that all comprehensiveness and universality of the law of state. The sovereign has himself extended this concession to the diplomatic representatives of other states for sake of international cooperation and courtesy. This is the will of state to give concession. The state is not bound to give the concession. If the state, by virtue of its sovereignty, the power of state of sovereignty जो उसका इख्तियार है, अगर वो उससे चाहे तो वो विड्रॉ कर सकता है डिप्लोमेटिक इम्यूनिटी को. डिप्लोमेटिक इम्यूनिटी ये है कि वो जिस मुल्क में रह रहे हैं उसके लॉ से अगर उन्हें एग्जेम्पशन दी गई है उसकी सुप्रीम अथॉरिटी से, तो वो जो है उसको डिप्लोमेटिक इम्यूनिटी बोलते हैं. So if a state, by virtue of its sovereignty, withdraws the diplomatic immunity of the representative of the foreign state, it it can happen, it is allowed, because it is the sovereignty of state. ये उस जो होस्ट स्टेट है, जो मेजबान स्टेट है, ये उसकी पावर है कि वो अगर चाहे तो वो विड्रॉ कर सकती है, because it is a concession and it is not a compulsion. It is like a free will. It is a good gesture to give them a diplomatic immunity to the diplomats of foreign nations. Hence, the extraterritorial rights and concessions of foreign diplomats are no exception to the rule of universality of the sovereign power of state. That even the extraterritorial sovereignty does not comes as a barrier to the sovereignty. It is just a free will, as a good gesture basically. It is not to matlab, it is not to restrict the power of sovereignty of a state. The sovereignty of a state is the most important thing around the world without any distinction. Permanence. So, what like that of state, the sovereignty is also permanent. Sovereignty of the state lasts as long as the state continues to exist. It does not we have studied the distinction between state and government, that कि state जो है वो continuous है, वो permanent है, और government जो है वो आती जाती रहती है. तो इसी तरह जो sovereignty है वो भी permanent है. sovereignty किसी के होने या ना होने से खत्म नहीं होती. मतलब state जब तक रहेगी तब तक sovereignty भी रहेगी. Even if the king is dead, uh, long live the king. It is one of the, मतलब आप कह सकते हैं phrase है, या it is said कि the king is dead, long live the king. The king is dead, the person who was exercising sovereignty is dead, but the concept of sovereignty of that state still exists and will continue to exist. So the king is dead, long live the king. तो उसकी power जो है वो अभी भी रहेगी, वो खुद चाहे रहे या ना रहे. The next is exclusiveness. Exclusiveness is one power entitled to be legally obeyed by its citizens. That is like that of, we have already discussed the absoluteness and indivisibility. It is an offshoot, or it's like an further and extension of those two attributes, exclusiveness. So, exclusiveness is that there is one power that is entitled to be legally obeyed by its citizen, that the citizen are required to obey the one power that is a legal power, and that is a legal obligation on the citizens. There cannot be two kings in a kingdom. It is a Persian proverb that एक जो रियासत है या एक जो भी मुमलिकत है उसका सिर्फ एक ही किंग हो सकता है. अगेन वही बात कि अगर दो किंग्स होंगे तो उनके अगर कंट्राडिक्टरी ऑर्डर्स आते हैं तो अवाम किसके ऑर्डर को फॉलो करेगी. सो इसलिए एक ही किंग हो सकता है जिसको जो लीगल बाइंडिंग होगी स्टेट जो सिटीजन के ऊपर के वो उसको फॉलो करें. Based on the principle of unity of state, which means that the state is a single unit ruled by one sovereign. The state में जब हमने स्टेट के एलिमेंट्स पढ़े थे तो वहां पे हमने एक एलिमेंट यूनिटी का भी पढ़ा था, दैट अ स्टेट is a single unit. It has the element and it has the feature of unity, and that unity will be exercised and will be manifested by its one government, by its one sovereign power, and that one sovereign power will have the authority to decide for the people and make laws for them. So exclusiveness is in connection with that principle. To say otherwise कि अगर हम इसके contrary जाएं तो it means that the possibility of in imperio, a state within a state, that is if there is a state within a state, Imperium in Imperio is basically a novel of English. It is about basically black racial discrimination. So this it is mean that they plan to make a state within a state and to challenge the sovereignty of US. And this the plot of the plot of that novel is like this. तो अगर हम एक्सक्लूसिवनेस के प्रिंसिपल से इनकार करते हैं तो इसका मतलब ये है कि हम एक स्टेट विद इन अ स्टेट की बात कर रहे हैं कि एक सॉवरेन के अंडर एक सॉवरेन की जो जो रिस्ट्रिक्शन है उसके अंदर हम एक और सॉवरेन बना रहे हैं. सो सॉवरेनिटी जो है इज अ प्रिंसिपल दैट इज vested in one person or in one institution, or in whosoever is exercising that sovereign power is only one. No two can share that power of sovereignty. When two-person ride a horse, one must sit in front and hold the rein. If अगर कोई दो लोग लोग जो हैं वो एक घोड़े पर सवार होते हैं, तो एक ही शख्स है जो आगे बैठेगा और वो घोड़े को चलाएगा। उसी के हाथ में घोड़े की लगाम होगी और वो ही घोड़े को कंट्रोल करेगा, पीछे वाला जो है वो सिर्फ बैठेगा। इसी तरह से जो सॉवरन है वो एक ही होगा, वही सारी चीजों को देखेगा, और जो उसके अलावा है वो सारे उसके सबॉर्डिनेट्स हैं, वो सब उसको ओबे करेंगे। Inalienability is another principle of sovereignty, and that is cannot be alienated. The sovereign power cannot be alienated, taken away from its holder without destroying it. You cannot take a sovereignty from some person unless that person agrees to, unless you destroy that person. Sovereignty is non-transferable. Sovereignty cannot be given to anyone else. Say a person or a state who's exercising sovereignty will not give its sovereignty to someone else to exercise that power. When a state cedes away its sovereignty, it ceases to exist, and some other state may come into being in its place. If a state ceded its sovereignty, अगर कोई स्टेट अपनी हाकमियत, अपनी जो इक़्तिदार आला है उसको जो है वो छोड़ रही है, उसको सीड कर रही है, उसको किसी और को दे रही है, तो इसका मतलब ये है कि वो स्टेट खत्म हो जाएगी और उसकी जगह पे एक नई स्टेट ओरिजिनेट होगी। A portion of territory can be ceded without affecting the sovereignty over the remaining portion, in which the state remains as supreme as before. तो द इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग इज कि अगर तो एक स्टेट अपनी सॉवरेनिटी को गिव अवे कर रही है, तो इसका मतलब है कि उसकी जगह एक नई स्टेट आएगी। बट इफ अब स्टेट जो है वो अपनी कुछ टेरिटरी जो है वो किसी और को दे रही है, अपना इख्तियार जो किसी टेरिटरी पर था वो किसी और को दे रही है, तो इसका मतलब ये है कि जो उसकी उस एरिया पर जो वो सीड कर रही है उसके ऊपर उसकी सॉवरेनिटी खत्म होगी। बाकी जो टेरिटरी है उसकी उसके ऊपर वो अपनी जो सॉवरेन पावर है वो उसको एक्सरसाइज करेगा। जैसे यूएस ने पनामा कैनाल, लिंक कैनाल है उसके ऊपर से अपनी जो सॉवरेनिटी थी, अपना जो इख्तियार था, वो सीड कर दिया था पनामा की स्टेट को। तो अब जो पनामा कैनाल है उसका इख्तियार जो है वो पनामा की स्टेट के पास है। तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि यूएस की सॉवरेनिटी जो उसके अपने लैंड पर या उसकी बाकी टेरिटरीज पर थी वो खत्म हो गई। इसका मतलब ये है कि उसकी सॉवरेनिटी जो है वो अपनी टेरिटरी पर मौजूद है, लेकिन जो सॉवरेनिटी उसने सीज कर दी थी किसी और को, वो अब उसके अंडर चली गई है। इन दोनों चीजों में फर्क है। अगेन आई एम एक्सप्लेनिंग कि इट इज सॉवरेनिटी इज नॉट ट्रांसफरेबल, कि जैसे हम ये कहते हैं कि ये मेरा एसेट है और इसको मैं ट्रांसफर कर रहा हूँ किसी और को, तो सॉवरेनिटी इस तरह से ट्रांसफर नहीं होती। सॉवरेनिटी या तो खत्म हो जाएगी या किसी और के पास चली जाएगी। So last is imprescriptibility, and it means sovereign is not lost even if its holder does not exercise or assert it for a long period of time. Once a sovereign is always a sovereign, even if it exercises its authority or it does not exercise its sovereignty. There is a rule in public law that is called the principle of prescription. That means that if a person is not using its sovereignty, so again, if a person is not does not assert its ownership over a piece of land or a house for 12 to 20 years, he may lose his ownership of that place. But in constitutional law, it does not happen. It is that the prescription remains there. The authority of exercising that power remains there. If there is a sovereign power, it will remain sovereign even if it is not exercising, and even if it is not manifesting its sovereign power. So this is for now the attributes of sovereignty, and we will discuss the limitations in the next lecture. Thank you.